a lot of practice. Okay. Share my screen. All right, so I'm gonna put that away. But, uh-oh. Oh no. Yep, that was it. It was right here. There we go. Oh, wrong slide. There we go. Well, got a couple more kids in while we were at it, which is good. Okay, so just make sure we're good. Okay, so today we start Unit 2, and we are still working on adaptations in the wide world of frogs. But today we move on to some nonfiction, some informative and informational text. And so we're going to talk about what that looks like a little bit today. And so right at the beginning of our new module, we were talking about these guiding questions. And it's been a while since we looked at them. So and they're very important to what Unit 2 and Unit 3 are all about. And actually, they a little bit had to do, that last question had a little bit to do with your pourquois and how you are helping your frog survive. So the guiding questions start out with, what do experts do? And we have to think about then, what is an expert? Who can tell me what they think an expert is? What is an expert? If we want to figure out what they do, we got to know what one is. Miss Morris, what's an expert?
An expert is someone who knows a lot about one thing.
Exactly. Somebody who has researched and learned about a subject very thoroughly. And so you can be an expert in all kinds of things. Somebody could be an expert in skateboarding. Somebody can be an expert in dirt biking. Somebody can be an expert at a certain kind of math. Someone can be an expert at chemistry. So it says, what do experts do? So we are trying to figure out how you become an expert and what is it that they do exactly. And then we are going to look at the next question. So you're going to see a part of a word here. It says, how do I build expertise on a topic? So who thinks they can figure out from breaking that word up, expertise? What do you think expertise might mean if we know that an expert is a person who knows a great deal about a topic? What would expertise be then? Anybody? I'm looking for someone. Oh, I see a lot of thinking faces. What do you think, Miss Madison? What do you think expertise is?
I think an expertise is like an expert that's better than expert.
All right, so you're making him more like an even more expert, huh? Well, expertise is actually what the expert knows and their knowledge. So it's not another person, but we are going to build expertise. We're going to build knowledge. We're going to build that amazing amount of information that an expert knows, okay? So, and it says, how do I do that? Well, we're going to find out a little bit as our Unit 2 goes on. And then it says, how do frogs survive? So up to now, Unit 1 was about we wrote pourquois, we wrote a narrative, we wrote fiction about how frogs have survived. Some of you wrote about why they jump, or why they're slimy, or why they are near the water. So you had lots of really great ideas that were fiction. But now we're going to start thinking about, how do frogs actually survive? What is it about them that makes it so that they can continue living? And what do they do in their lives? What actions do they do? And what adaptations in their body do they have that help them survive? And we know that there are different kinds of frogs. So we are going to be finding out some general things about frogs, and then we'll also find out more specific things about different types of frogs that make them be able to survive in their environment. All right, so one of the things that EL really wants us to do is they want us to, of course, build our habits of character. And one of the ones that we really focus on for this unit and Unit 3 is how do we contribute to a better world? Well, the habit of character that we're going to be using a little bit this time is I can apply my learning to help our school, the community, and the environment. And in this case, we don't really, we're not going to be really helping our school or our community, but we are definitely going to be focusing on the environment and how we can help frogs and other creatures that rely on frogs, and the things that frogs do to help our environment, how we can help those along, because we probably don't realize how important frogs really are to the world. Okay, I'm gonna move on. So I asked all of you to have some things today. I don't know if you read your assignment today, but you need your EL workbook. That's very important today. Give me a thumbs up if you have your EL workbook. But you also need your book that we gave you when you went home. We checked it out to you, and it looks like this, and it's called Everything You Need to Know, Everything You Need to Know About Frogs and Other Slippery Creatures. So if you do not have this book, you should go grab it right now, okay? Right, Miss Cernay, Miss Abby, do you have this book? You need this book. All right, thank you, Logan. Good job. All right, because today we're going to thank you, Miss Isabella. Thank you, Charlie. Awesome. Elena's got it. Charlie Carr's got it. All right, I see some people who have disappeared. They must be looking for it. All right, Henrik, did you get it, buddy? You have it with you? Thank you so much. Good job, bud. All right, Gavin, do you have it with you, buddy?
I left my book at home and I'm at my mom's school.
Ah, all right. Well, you're gonna have to rely on some friends and me today, I guess. You'll just have to keep those eyes on the screen. Thanks, Ben. Good job. Excellent. Leo, do you have yours? Excellent. Nixon, do you have yours, buddy? Yep. Okay. I just need a thumbs up if you've got it. You don't have to show it to me. I'll believe you. All right. I'm looking for a couple extra people. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start teaching, though. If you don't have it yet, go ahead and grab it. Okay. See if you can find it. All right. So when we're working on this today, you're going to notice that in your EL workbook that there are a lot of pages that say lesson 1, and this is lesson 1. However, I want you to know that we are going to be doing some Freaky Frog research, and a lot of the pages for the Freaky Frog research are going to be in a different place. The workbook is set up a little differently than normal. And so you are going to see it says page number. So those are page numbers that have to do with your Freaky Frog notebook. They're not pages in the workbook. So if you look at page 60 in your workbook, you're going to find this exact page that's sort of your cover page, and you're going to find lots of pages, 61, 62. Everybody just take a real quick look at it. 63, 64, 65. Thank you, Miss Morris. Good job. 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71. So you're going to see lots of pages here that say that if you were freaking out at all and you were like, I have to do all these pages today, because they say lesson 1 on them, but they're pages we're going to actually do over time. Okay? They're going to be pages we do over time. So just know that when I say, I'm going to give you the actual page number today when we're doing the pages in your workbook, but just know that there are some extra pages at the beginning of this unit that we will be going back and forth for, okay? But I just wanted to give you an idea, because if you look at it, it seems like there's a whole lot we're doing today. We're not filling out all of that information today. But I will tell you what we are doing today. So here are our learning targets. So today I can use text features to find information about tadpoles efficiently in Everything You Need to Know About Frogs and Other Slippery Creatures. So let's break that down for a second. So text features are, actually, I'm sorry, I need to pull up my dock camera real quick. Let me go ahead and escape out of that. So let's look at, did it open it? Nope. Very slow today. All right, we'll show you some of my Wow, it really is super slow today. It's definitely Monday, isn't it? Oh my goodness, there it is. Whew. It's moving super slow. All right, so text features. There we go. That's very set up weird. All right, text features are things that we find in informational text. So informational text obviously has what word inside it? Information. So informational text is writing that has information about it, about some sort of topic. So we have usually things like table of contents, an index, a glossary, headings, and we also have illustrations. So some of those are things that we're going to look at today inside your new book, Everything You Need to Know About Frogs and Other Slippery Creatures. We're going to look at through our book and see some of those text features. All right. We are also going to take a couple pages and break it up, and I'm going to put you in breakout groups or breakout rooms for a little bit and see if you can do some of the gist work on your own. And we've been doing a lot of gist throughout the first half of the year. So the expectation from Mrs. Aubin and I are that you already have a good feel for what a gist is and how to look for unfamiliar vocabulary. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of that toward the end of our lesson today. All right, so everybody go ahead and take out your book. Go ahead and take out your Everything You Need to Know About Frogs book and just kind of flip through it a little bit. So Mr. Cooper, I will put up, the rest of you go ahead and flip through, but I want to make sure Mr. Cooper, since he doesn't have his book, can still see some things for, I'll put it under the dot camera, and if anybody else has lost their book or can't find it yet. All right, let me, it's a little bit bigger, so. All right, so I'll ask you some questions in a minute. Just go ahead and flip through what you see. Maybe take a look, see what you think the story, all the books, all the text is going to be about. Mr. Cooper, can you see that well enough? Okay. All right. Yeah, there's a glare. I'm sorry, Cooper. A little bit of a glare today. I'm probably going to turn off one of my lights in a minute. Okay, so I'm looking for eyes on the book, not on the screen, except for if you don't have your book with you. I want you to go ahead and look through the book. Take a moment to look at some. You don't have to read it. I'm not expecting you to read through it all. Ooh, that is a horrible glare. All right, Mr. Cooper, I'll be right back.
And Mrs. Harrison, while you're doing that, I think I got on before you, so the chat is not private to just me, and kids are struggling with the temptation.
Ah, okay.
So if you can do that, I can't seem to. Okay,
yes, I can. Oh, right, because you are, yes, when you get on before me, then you're in charge of things.
But it didn't show me that option.
If you, well, and it doesn't come up with mine either, because I'm not the host. You are probably the host.
Should I make you the host?
You can.
Or you can tell me.
Actually, if you click under chat, or there's usually an arrow next to chat, or with the 3 dots. If you click on chat at the bottom, there's usually 3 dots, and those 3 dots can allow you to change it.
Thank you. Done.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so what are some things some people notice about our book? What are some things that we notice about this new book? What do we notice? All right, Lila's always ready to help us. Okay, Miss Morris, what do you notice about our book?
I noticed that there's a game and that it's all about reptiles instead of just frogs.
Ah, so it does say and other slippery creatures. Very good. So it's not entirely. There are some other animals involved. Very good. Ben, what else did you notice? Mr. Ben, I saw your hand up earlier.
I never knew there's such thing as a horned lizard.
Ah.
I thought this was only about frogs.
All right. So again, we're finding out that there's some other things about reptiles and other spots. Very good. All right. And so this book is really wonderful, my friends. I think we're really going to enjoy reading through it. I want to look at some of the, remember I just talked about, we're going to look at various parts of the text features. So I want everybody to go ahead and turn toward the front. And I want you on, it's actually page 3. I want you to look at this page here. It's the table of contents. What does a table of contents do? Here, there's going to be one of our vocabulary words, table of contents. What does the table of contents help us do? What can you tell from the thing, from that page? Paxton, what does this page seem to do?
You can tell if you don't have enough time to read the whole book, you can just look up in the table of contents what chapters you want to.
Very good. Yeah, because instead of reading the page, it's not like a novel, right? Where we have to read it necessarily page 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, right? So the table of contents helps the reader find key topics that are going to be in this informational text. And so if you look there, we have some pages with amphibians, reptiles. If you keep looking down, there's our glass frog, fancy feet, defense techniques, record breakers, working with amphibians and reptiles. So it helps the reader find some information in the text without necessarily reading the whole book. Very nice job. Thank you very much, Paxton. All right. I also want you to look toward the back of the book. I want you to look through the back of the book. What do we see here? What is this section here? I'm going to find a new friend. Let's see. Mr. Logan Peters, what is this section? Ooh, I can't hear you, but I can tell your mouth said glossary. Okay, very good. Yes. This is the glossary, and it says at the top, we know it, and this is one of our vocabulary words we're going to have under my topical vocabulary, but it's like a mini dictionary that helps the reader learn important words in the text. Now, these words are just words that we're going to find in this particular text. It's not a dictionary that we would look for a word about, weather, perhaps. It's going to only have words in it that have to do with this text. But many times you might find a word that you are not sure about, and you could come to the glossary and find out a little definition of what that word might mean in case you are not sure about it. Very nice. All right. And then if you look, the page right across from it is our index. What does the index do, Miss Abby?
We are in the index and glossary.
Yes. What does an index do? Can you see it?
It tells you about like the animals. The animals and like what they are.
It tells you what they are? Look real close at it. The index does something helpful, but it doesn't tell us information. What does it do?
It tells us what they start with.
Hmm?
Oh, it tells us what page they're on.
Ah, very good, Miss Abby. Yes, the index. Again, this is
8 through 9, 16 through 7, 20 to 29. Yeah.
Exactly, Miss Abby. Yep, they're good. So and if you notice, it's by what kind of order? How do we find the information? We find it by the alphabet, right? It's an alphabetical order. It's an alphabetical list of important information in a text, and it has the most important part, as Abby just said, it's got the page numbers. So when you are looking for some particular information, instead of having to scan the entire book, you can look for just that information, that page number, and go back and find it within the pages that are in the book. Nice job. So I also want you to look at some other things. So you'll notice, what do you notice about most of these pages? What do they have? They have some pretty spectacular something in particular. What do you notice? Pretty spectacular what? Lucas, what do you see here? What do you see?
I see. I see a lizard. Oh wait.
Yes.
I mean,
how do you know it's a lizard? Because it does what? It looks like a lizard, right? Are they? So these are pictures, right? Some really great, and most of them are photographs of real, real things. So one of the things we're going to call these, so another word for this is illustration. Now, we have illustrations also in fiction books. Those are usually drawings. Somebody makes a drawing or a painting that goes along with a nonfiction story. But an illustration, when we have an informational text, is usually an actual picture or photograph of whatever it is we're learning about. So those are, a lot of informational text has some pictures. Why do you think that we have pictures? Why in particular would we have pictures?
Stuff like that.
Why do you think? Noah? Noah, why do you think we would have pictures? Why would it?
So we can try to see what they are.
So, to help us better understand it, right? When we're learning some new information, and it's like right here, they're talking about something about milk snakes, and they're talking about coral snakes. If we actually have real pictures of them, they help the reader to understand better what the text is saying. And so you're going to find a lot of illustrations, a lot of photos in this book to help us understand the information better. And you will also see on every page, and we're going to start looking at page 6 for a moment for me. So everybody take a look at page 6 and 7. What are page 6 and 7 about? So Cooper, you're going to have to keep your eye on the screen, buddy, since you don't have one of the books. So what are these two pictures about, Astria?
Tadpoles and frogs.
Tadpoles and frogs, okay. And how do you know that?
Because they're on the thing on the picture. There's tadpoles and frogs.
Okay, so we have some labels that help us understand what the picture is in case we're not sure, right? We have some labels. And then what is this big thing up here? What would we call, anybody have an idea what we would call this word that is in big letters, big bold letters? Anybody have an idea what we would call that? Josh Carter? What do we call that?
A heading.
Very good. That was the perfect answer. Thank you, sir. So we have when you have a big word at the top that's in bold letters, it's what we call a heading. And and the heading gives us a huge idea about what we're going to be reading. On this page, on these two pages here, we can tell that we are looking at these two pages are going to be about the Amazon horned frog, because that's what it says at the very top here. All right, so the pages that we're going to focus on today are pages 6 and 7. Those are the pages that we're going to focus on for our work today when we are not working on those text features. So let's just really quickly review the text features that we have already gone over. So we went over illustration, which we know is a picture or a drawing. In this case, most of them are going to be photos. And these are all of our text features. I'm going to put that at the top. There we go. And then we also looked at a glossary. Where did we find the glossary? The glossary is mostly always in the back, right? So some of my friends are showing me. Very good. The glossary is found in the back along with the index. The index tells us what pages we can find. And then very much in the beginning, Something that's a little bit more general are the table of contents. Sometimes if the table of contents can't tell us where some information is, we can go to our index to be able to find that information. So so those are the text features that I really wanted you to focus on today. I would like you to go ahead and take out go ahead and take out your workbook. And today we're going to look at, oh, I've got too many vocabulary words. Sorry, I don't have enough desk today. There we go. I want you to go ahead and open up your workbook to page 71. Oh, sorry, 72. Actually, let's look at 72 first before we actually get reading. Mrs. Harrison got too excited about the actual reading of the book. I just want to really quickly go over page 72. Give me a thumbs up when you're there. I'm looking for page 72. Ooh, I'm looking for thumbs, Max is ready. Awesome. All right, Noah's got it. Esther's got it. All right, I'm still looking for some more thumbs. I see some people who are sleeping on me, friends. Nobody's sleeping. I know it's Monday morning. Good job, Lennox. Good job, Cooper. Thank you, Mr. Nixon. Thanks, Miss Haley Calendar. All right, Charlie Carr's ready. Robert's ready to rock. Cole's ready when he's not yawning over there. All right, Mr. Finn, I'm looking for a thumbs up that you have page 72 available for me. All right, Elena's ready. I lost Logan Peters. I don't know where he went. Oh, there he is. All right, find a little peekaboo with me. All right, Isabella's ready. Okay, I still have some friends who have their camera off. I'm looking for everybody to have their camera on for me today. All right, Mr. Paxton, you've got your page for me? Awesome, great job. Okay, friends, let's take a look at it. So we've been talking about, we are doing informational text, and this is what we're going to be focusing on for the next 2 units. And so what do informational texts do? Well, they give us information. If we even break that down more, and we take away the end of the book there, the end of the word there, we end up with inform. Inform means to tell or to teach. So an informational text is then going to teach us and teach the reader about a topic. And in our case, we know our informational text is going to be about frogs, but not just frogs, about other slippery creatures as well. And then it says we often have text features that the author uses to help the reader understand and find the information in the text. And here we have some of the things that we were talking about: the table of contents, the glossary, the index, our headings, our photographs, captions. Captions go along with it. That was the idea of what a caption tells us a little more information about a picture. So that's what Astria was talking when Astria said that we thought about tadpoles. It said tadpoles to help us understand what the photograph was about. And words in bold or italic type. We're going to be seeing some of that today in today's informational text that we're going to read. Now, if we talked about an expert. An expert is a person who really knows a lot about about some sort of information. And so an informational text is always based on research that the author does, because the author is an expert and the author does some research before they write the book. And often in the back of the book, the author will list some sources that they used in their research. And when we are writing in Unit 2 and Unit 3, we are going to include our sources, where we got our information about that we are going to be writing about. The informational text is focused on the same topic throughout the piece. We are going to find information that's mostly about frogs and other slippery creatures. Are they going to talk a lot about butterflies in this book? No, right? No. Are they going to talk about dirt biking in this book? No. The topic of this particular book is very specific. It's about frogs and other slippery creatures. the idea, if you're writing an informational text, you want to teach someone. So the information has to be clearly presented and easy to understand. If the information isn't easy to understand, you're not going to inform your reader very well. And so that's why they use the pictures, the captions, and things like the glossary to help you understand better. The illustrations will support the text. And when and we're going to talk about this part down here. We're going to break it up. Each of those paragraphs later, we're going to break them up into more pieces. And that last little part there will make more sense when we do that. All right, so everybody should have their workbook on page 73 and 74. So really quickly, let's talk about a gist. Who remembers what the word gist tells us? What does gist mean? Ooh, I have a lot of cameras. Why do I have so many cameras off? I'm not really sure. Maybe it's just my computer that's doing weird things. Oh, I can only see myself. That is so